melt. But it will writhe inside of itself.
Hello. Terribly sorry for the interruption. I see that Morwen is in full swing, and I'm sure she'll be at it for another good couple of hours, explaining just what the kingdom looks like. However, well, you're busy players, and while your characters may have time to sit and listen, I'm sure you do not. So allow me, the exposition fairy, to give you a little insight into the state of the kingdom. Pretty much we're going to sum up everything that Morwen would bring up in her speech. Maybe a few things that she might not. So let's start with some facts. First of all, Morwen is now regent and head of the government for the Kingdom of Apples. Congratulations. Sir Richard, now Romulus, is a marshal and head of the police in the kingdom. It's not as formal as police, but that's effectively what he is. The giant that had been wandering through turned out to not be a huge problem. So, well voted, changelings. Glad you made the right call there. Now, the Adhene. Everyone's been asking and wondering, what's the state of the Adhene? Well, the Adhene have been given small parcels of land throughout the kingdom and are continuing their nomadic lifestyle, moving between these places and trading with the locals. However, many traditional Shi are not happy with Morwen's progressive rule, especially those who had to give up parcels of land to the Adhene. Duke Guile is executed with cold iron, destroyed forever. With him gone, and with former Marshal Octavia's testimony, so dies the Silver Sickle. Now, many of you may not have heard of the Silver Sickle, but they were in the background for quite a long time, ready to pounce, and, well, let's just say they're not around anymore. Congratulations to our bard, who took them down. The Commoner Army. The Commoner Army is mostly reduced to a symbol at this point, and has no leaders. Those who use its symbol have wildly different ideas about what it stands for. Some use it casually as a drunken boast against nobles. Others remember fighting alongside Rick the Ravenous and the Butcher of Barlamain. Still others see it as a philosophical stance for a more balanced society. They are as likely to fight each other as anything. Certainly, though, there is nothing resembling the group that originally called itself the Commoner Army. So, moving on, with the removal of the Silver Sickle and several of those who Morwen has, shall we say, promoted sideways, there have been a lot of promotions going around. Much to the distaste of the traditionals, these positions have primarily been given to those who show ability, regardless of their lineage. And so, this includes more commoners than ever in government. Good for you commoners, not so good for you traditional sheep. In exchange for the land arrangement, the Adhene have formed a council of elders to facilitate interaction with the changelings. This council, in theory, is led by Mo Sienre, but its organization is shaky at best, and the concept alien to the Adhene anyway. They have, however, appointed official ambassadors even, to the court to represent their interests. Due to Queen Mab's recent proclamation regarding the citizenship of the kingdom, many have interpreted it different ways, but most of the more radical Adhene, who wish to embrace the changeling way, some Thalain, who are hiding and living quietly off the radar, as well as even a few Selkies, are now claiming citizenship and the rights that go with it, protection under the sheet and all that. So they are increasing numbers of them in changeling society. Now, Goblin Town. Goblin Town has been granted status as an independent state under the protection of the Kingdom of Apples. The Guild of Clock and Toy Makers is in effect its ruling government and will administer Goblin Town without say from the Apples government. In exchange, regulations and quotas have been set regarding the amount and type of goods which are exported. This is in an effort to prevent them replacing physical labor jobs traditionally held by the commoners, and instead their production is focused on the reconstruction efforts. The Guild has also appointed its own ambassadors to the court to better represent their interests. There was some question as to whether the Selkies would be allowed representation, to which I say they already have it. Her name is Eve. If you have any questions, please feel free to address them to them. In other news, the Colosseum is now nearing completion. The project has been led by Sir Richard, now Romulus, and Sir Arden Hendricks, and has been funded by Phalith and the Audrey family. It is an impressive structure that will provide entertainment for the masses and an official place for duels and trial by combat. Word is that the structure shall also be providing some level of assistance for the veterans of the war who are having difficulties, although no concrete plans for this have actually surfaced. In addition, following up with some of the questions as to whether we will be assisting the Kingdom of Pacifica now that they've lost the war. No, they're on the other side of the country and they haven't asked. As for some question of trolls being moved on or having their freeholds taken, nothing has been said by anyone regarding this. So, yeah, that's pretty much where the kingdom lies at this point. Hopefully that gives everybody a chance to be on the same page as we move on. So it's pretty much a win for the commoners so far. Those of you who are of more traditional bent, not so great. But we'll see how it plays out. I've been your exposition fairy, and now let me return you to Morwen in progress.